Hey guys, what's going on? How's my squad? It's Chase, it's the Stock Sherpa, it's the YouTube portfolio manager, the first, greatest, and only. Saturday afternoon here, Memorial weekend. Hope everybody's doing great. It is beautiful here in Canyon Lake. Today's gonna be a fun one. Felt like I'd make a video more for education than for stock picks, just to switch it up a little bit and make sure that you guys are staying well informed, because that's the goal. So today's a big celebration. Today, for stock traders out there, it's kind of a big day. Today's the 125th anniversary. So 125 years ago today, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was created. A guy named Charles Dow and Edward Jones, which if you may remember that name, got together and they created an index called the Dow Jones Industrial Average. The reason I'm bringing this up is that one of the biggest pains in my ass as an advisor, and one of the things that is one big pet peeve of me now, is people just completely misinterpreting and misunderstanding what type of index the Dow Jones is and whether or not it's actually a good indicator or a good track to understand or to gauge your investments. I once got in trouble by a client because she was always talking about the Dow's performance versus her stocks. And I said, well, using the Dow to position the stocks in your portfolio and to take a temperature of how you're doing as far as your investments go is very similar to if you were to put your hand on your head to see whether or not you had a fever to determine whether or not you had cancer. They're just completely different things. So I'm going to bash it a little bit, as I always do, as far as indexes, and hopefully educate you some here. So on the anniversary, to the guys, here's some fun facts about, to all my bulls out there, here's some fun facts about the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and just some things that kind of, I think, need to be understood by the average investor that your advisor doesn't tell you and that most people don't tell you. It's probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest and most well-known index when it comes to just discussions. You know, you talk to the old rich guy at the country club, he's going to say what did the Dow do today, not what the S&P do today, or what did the NASDAQ or the FTSE or, you know, the Nikkei or any of the other indexes out there. They don't ask about the Russell. They don't ask about emerging market ETFs, poor country ETFs, those type of things. So, or indexes, I should say, not ETFs. But here's some fun facts. Let's see if we can tie this in educationally. You know that that's what I love to do, and that's what I'm here for. So first off, 1896, the Dow was created. Again, Charles Dow and Edward Jones, they got together with a reporter and they decided that they wanted a barometer on how to test how the economy was doing. Back then, we were in the Industrial Revolution, so that's not very different than now saying, what's the NASDAQ doing? What are our tech stocks doing? Because we're in the tech revolution. There will probably be, and there already is becoming, an ESG, economic and social governance, based ETFs out there, as green energy and you know, more political and ethical lines are being drawn all around the world. So that's why, one reason that it's pretty antiquated as a way to test the economy. Second, as I mentioned, there was 12 stocks in it. Well, now there's 30. I believe there's actually 31. It depends on spinoffs and not spinoffs. We're going to look at that in a second. But it was originally reflective of, I'm going to read these very fast. We have American Cotton Oil Company, we had American Sugar Company, American Tobacco Company, Chicago Gas Company, Distilling and Cattle Feed, General Electric, National Lead, Tennessee Iron and Coal, and a couple other companies. So, you know, when people say nowadays, like, what's in the Dow, a lot of people don't realize Apple's in the Dow. A lot of people don't realize, you know, DuPont is in the Dow. A lot of people don't realize that there's Visa is in the Dow. You know, there's big banks, Bank of America is in the Dow. So that's very different than what it started off as. So I just straight up will tell you, I don't even look at the Dow and how it's doing ever. Professional trader, 12 years, don't even care. Doesn't matter. So that's one thing to know. And if you're an advisor, that's a good thing to have in your back pocket when you have rusty clients coming at you and trying to attack your portfolio performance. Fortunately, that's not something I have to worry about, at least not lately. So General Electric, by the way, is the only stock that's still in the index, and it has never left the index. So that's a pretty amazing stat for a company that's been around for 125 years. So what happened is, when it started in 1896, there was 12 companies. It was the most popular. It was the barometer of how the market was doing. It was a barometer of how the economy was doing. And particularly, again, just the revolution of the Industrial Revolution and all the American investment into that. It was kind of showing how the economy was growing. So it started off as a good index to use, but now it's not. In fact, by 1920, by 1919, there was 20 stocks in the Dow. And then it was capped at 30 in 1928. What else happened in 1928? Nothing good, right? So anyway, the number of stocks is not nearly as important as the ones that they pick. And that's what the S&P now owns the Dow, the company Standard & Poor's. Not to make that too confusing, but now they say that they're trying to continually change it with 30 stocks to replicate what the current averages of how the market is doing. But like I've told you guys before, I don't think it's a good barometer at all. I think it's trash. I don't think you should use it. It's also a price-weighted index. I've gone over this before, price-weighted index. So instead of being a market-weighted index, whereas, what percentage of Apple is in comparison to the 500 largest companies by percentages of all the dollars outstanding times the share price. So how big is the company? How much money as a company is Apple, as an example, in the S&P 500? Well, this is all about stock price. So if it's an expensive stock, which like Goldman Sachs right now is the largest company in the Dow. Goldman Sachs is like 190 something bucks. I have it written down here. Yeah, 192 bucks. This article must be from a little bit longer where I pulled this. I pulled this off at NASDAQ.com. But anyway, the largest one is by the price. So you own more Goldman Sachs when you buy a Dow index than you would, let's say, the smallest company, which I have here, which is Cisco Systems. So Cisco, CSCO, is only a $26 stock. Therefore, it is a small percentage of the 30 stocks in the index. So it's based on price. And remember, prices can be manipulated very easily. They can do share buybacks. They can do dilution of shares. They can do spinoffs. And there is a way that they calculate that inside of the Dow. But just as a fact, if you have a company like Amazon, it's probably not going to go into the Dow because it's so much heavier in price. It's a $3,000 stock versus the largest in the Dow, which is 100 and whatever Goldman's at. I thought Goldman was in the twos, but anyway, I'm teaching you guys about the Dow. Over the last 125 years, there's been 120 different companies in and out of the Dow, so they do change it. Now, something that I do, and I do in my Ever Bullish One portfolio, is if you are looking to rebalance your portfolio and you see that there's a company that's been announced to either be added or dropped from the Dow, you can front run that in a way. Nothing illegal, not the illegal term of front running, but you can get ahead of that and add positions to the one that's being added because of all the big institutional flows of people that just buy the index. So that's a way to do it better. That's another one of the many Ever Bullish advantages. I just wanted to shout at you guys a little bit of education about the Dow. Go to everbullish.com, download the Ever Bullish One podcast. I want you all to live, laugh, and leverage. I think that that's a cool sign that I had ordered, and I hope that that resonates with a couple of you guys and makes kind of cool office decor. So everbullish.com. I am Chase at Everbullish, the Stock Sherpa on YouTube. Buy one of my premium portfolios, take a look at my merch, have a browse around my website, and become a bull with me. So LGF, LFG, AFG, let's get rich, LGR. Have a great day, guys. Happy Memorial Day.